Hello YouTube, Skip the Wolf here, back with another video for your viewing pleasure, and in this video, this is going to be kind of a different video because I kind of don't feel like doing album reviews or anything like that. I'm kind of just wanting to consolidate everything into one package. There's a couple of new album releases that came out tonight. One is Orthodox, A Door Left Open. One is Katatonia's album, Nightmares as Extensions of the Dreams, to whatever that album's called. Let me look it up. Uh, Nightmares as Extensions of the Waking State, I think it's called, but I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, Nightmares as Extensions of the Waking State. That's a long title, so please forgive me for that. Also, there are some new singles we need to talk about. President just dropped a new single um, entitled Fearless that's going to be talked about, and Demon Hunter also came up with something entitled Light Bend, so we're going to be talking about that in this video. So, let's start off with the singles basically because like everybody's really wanting to know about President. They, of course, a lot of people probably heard In the Name of the Father, which I thought was a pretty good song, pretty good. Um, I thought it was a good indication of things to come, and then they dropped Fearless 2 weeks before they're supposed to go on Download Fest. I think it's 2 weeks. And here we are at this point, and this is their second song. This is kind of like a pivotal moment for them to see if they're here to stay. I think they're definitely here to stay for sure. They definitely have a name for themselves, but Fearless as a song itself is kind of lower tier than In the Name of the Father, especially when it comes to the repetition that sample. This is the same thing that I criticized Black Map's song Hex for, which is like repeating stuff in like the sections in between the chorus, verse, and all that kind of stuff. That's the same complaint basically I have here. It's so annoying. I think it really just takes a lot out of the song. You don't really need that, like constantly. Like it samples so annoying. I think it's so like misplaced in the song. The song would have gone fine, I think, without those like vocal like parts, like samples, like cheer, like I don't know what to call them. They're almost like cheerleader kind of like chants or something like that. Like only the difference between the Black Map song and this one is that it was actually the band saying it, but it's just a sample throughout the song, and it's really got on my nerves by like the end of it. Like because the song itself, like taking that out of the equation, isn't bad. You know, like it's only their second song. They got a lot of good things going for it. I mean, this really feels like it feels different from In the Name of the Father in the fact that it's more radio friendly, I guess, like with a radio structure. Um, they have a lot of interesting stuff going for it, like in the vocals, like which by design, like I feel like by design these vocals are supposed to be auto tuned. I feel like whoever the figurehead of this band is, the lead singer of this band, definitely has puts a lot of emotion into the vocals, especially when it gets to like the more like passionate stuff, like what you hear in the chorus and the bridge. But it's just those like fearless chants that really like in between the verse and the chorus for like a lot of, and even the chorus and the verse, for example, like that really keep this song from being great. It keeps it from being good, but it's a little bit of a wasted potential. But then again, it's just kind of like it's fine. It's overall fine. It's not as good as In the Name of the Father was. I thought that was a better song overall than this, but yeah, still pretty good. So next up, we're going to be talking about the Demon Hunter song "I'm Done." No, no, not "I'm Done." Light Bends. Thank you. And we'll be back after this. Demon Hunter has a song out called Light Bends now, which is presumably from their the second single from as of yet untitled from their as of yet untitled new album. Supposedly, I Cannot Talk Today, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that. As like if you know me, you know that I criticized "I'm Done" a lot for being a very generic song, and I really stand by it. I feel like it slogs by for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. It really doesn't do much for like to add anything to any. It's just generic. It's kind of just very standard. I just was underwhelmed so much by this track. Light Bends, however, really got me excited. Now, Demon Hunter's Light Bends, like, you could tell the instrument work, they really did a good job with the instrument work on this track. Because, like, the instrument work is great. Like, the riff in the song, the main riff is great. Like, that is played throughout it. Like, I think, like, the dueling, like, lower stuff with the higher stuff, I think that's really well done, I think. And the lyrics, too, I think are pretty much a step up from, like, what we've heard in the past from, or not in the past, because Exile wasn't really that bad. I thought Exile was pretty good. But, like, it's from, at least from these several singles that have come out, which really haven't left anything to the imagination. I thought, like, most of them were pretty generic. This one, Life Bends, like, has a lot of stuff that's, like, appealing, at least. The one criticism that I can say is Ryan Clark's vocals. They're very shut. They're very, like, I don't know. I'm just like, when it comes to, it sounds like I'm kind of being mean, but you know, like, at the same time, guys, his vocals are not as good as they used to be. Like, it's clear, like, when he's trying to get like a little bit higher, he sounds shot. Like, he sounds like he hasn't doesn't know what vocal exercises are by, like, or like, not that, but like, he kind of just like isn't using proper technique or something, even though he probably is. I'm not trying to say that as anything demeaning or anything. I think a lot of people probably think about that way, but no, not. I mean, like, it's just like what I hear from the song. Like, it's just not great. It sounds like really goofy. He's going like or something. Like, I don't even like. It sounds like it's not that much of a, like, good juxtaposition of the great musicianship, which is really what it is. Like, I mean, Ryan Clark doesn't necessarily kill this track by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I mean, like, there's moments where he's trying, like, somewhat, but like when it gets to like some points, I'm just like, well, you could have done a lot better. And I'm sorry, I'm not really into Ryan Clark's vocals that much these days. But like Ben's, I think, is a really good song, and that should be praise enough. Like, it's better than like I'm Done for sure. Way better, I think, because I'm Done is just so flat like this. And a lot of this, like, singles that were like Exile B sides are just kind of mid like that. Kind of like what I've been feeling about the album run, War, Peace, Outlive. Those three albums, all not very good. This song I think is good. Who knows what the album is actually gonna be, but as for this song specifically, Light Bends, I think it is a good sign. So next up, after I cut, we're gonna be talking about the Katatonia album a little bit. I don't have much to say on it, but we'll see you around. Here comes the Katatonia part of the review. Katatonia released their recent album, Nightmares as Extensions of the Waking State. And on surface level, like, as far, or like with the first two singles, Lilac and Temporal, whatever you say that word, it feels like they were going back to a little bit of what made an album like The Great Cold Distance such a good album, and even Night is the New Day, which are great albums, I think, from Katatonia. I think they really do a good job with those albums, and it sounded like, kind of like they were going back to that. Man, for like pretty much like a lot of this album, you can kind of feel that. You can kind of feel like there is some moments where the drum work, especially, is really good. Take a look at stuff like After Solin, however you say that word, like Which I Bleed, like stuff like that. Departure Trails, like a lot of stuff like that. You can see the drum work is pretty good on this album, but this this band kind of just disappoints me a little bit because it's not really much. I mean, like, it is okay of an album. There's nothing like offensively bad here. I don't think there's nothing that's even bad here at all. I just think it's kind of it goes by, it does its thing. You know, there's like a lot of moments that are like very like moody, very like I don't know, like Katatonia have a sound that they've done, and this is kind of like going into stuff. Um, this is very City Burials esque, I think. Where it's kind of just there, like a lot of stuff on City Burials. I remember just kind of just flowing by. This album kind of feels like that, but it is at, but with the singles I mentioned and the stuff that like, where the drum work is really good. That kind of stuff like makes this album a better album than that was, which was okay. I don't think Catatonia has really made anything super bad or anything like that. Like or like it's just an album that could just a band that could be like so much more. You know, I feel like they could have so much more to their sound, um, personally than um just kind of just droning on and on for an entire song is like whatever they're doing nowadays. And I'm sorry, I'm not really into Wind of Note Change. Spotify keeps recommending me that track on the release radar and all that, and they keep pushing that song. Well, at least for today, at least, since it's come out, which I don't know how long it's come out, but like, I'm sorry, the lyrics like aren't really like vibing with me that much. And yeah, the rest of the album is okay. It's pretty mixed, but it's more on the level of like it's fine. If you like Catatonia, you'll definitely like this album. If you like a lot of their previous albums, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Nightmares as extension of the Waking State does get a solid six. Pretty like a six or a light seven. If you really want to do that, I would just probably just say screw it, just give it a strong six because like this is fine. I think this is solid enough. There's nothing really bad that you'll hate on this album, but there's nothing that's like mind blowingly good. On the other hand, the album I'm going to view after I pause it and I cut here is Orthodox with their album Door Left Open, and well, you'll see. Yeah, Orthodox and their album A Door Left Open, which is probably the best thing that I've heard this week. In terms of like music, because you got to remember there's a lot of like filler bands on my release radar and even in the all new metal um section on Spotify, the playlist or whatever. But this is easily the best thing that I've heard this week, and it's not really surprised. I've been into a lot of like these metalcore acts recently, but there's just been a lot of them that have been pretty good, you know. And you know, Orthodox like being more hardcore influenced in metalcore, being more like gritty kind of metalcore, definitely has a good thing going for them. This album feels like an experience, like from beginning to end. You would say that's a detriment to it. It's a lot of the same thing going on and on and on, like with like from going from "Can You Save Me" all the way to the closing track "Will You Hate Me," for sure. But that would be a little bit like even that's not really like a bad thing about this album because like you know, like a lot of it sounds the same, but there's just so much good you could do with like the creativity of the breakdowns and stuff like that. Like this really borders on a lot of like mathcore s kind of stuff. Like I'm hearing some sugar in here a little bit. I'm hearing some like some more aggressive like new metal, groove metal stuff going on in here. And overall, it's just very good. The vocal performance is very good. I think the brutality of it really sells a lot of these songs really well. Body Chalk, which is a funny title. Keep Your Blessings. And then we have, of course, One Less Body featuring Brand of Mastodon. And when his part comes on in that song, everything gets elevated to like amazing sense. I mean, this is an amazing like part in the song. It really adds a lot of that like alternative like metal stuff from the early 2000s to this song, and it's something I really enjoy about this, and I really enjoy like a whole lot of stuff about this album. This is a great album, I think. Probably one of the year's best. But That's not saying much, but it is definitely in contention to be in the top 10. I think this album's great. There's not really that much to say about it. I just think that if you like a lot of bands like Knocked Loose or Code Orange, which sadly Code Orange is on hiatus right now, but if you want something that's close to that, or Varials even, I hear a lot of Varials in this band as well, like In Darkness era Varials, which is a pretty good thing. Definitely give this a shot. I was introduced to this band um in a couple years ago with their song Soaking Nerves. Definitely like that song. And then they released a lot of other stuff, and like this album, definitely good, definitely worthy of putting them on the map too. So as a whole, this is probably definitely going to be a strong 8 in my book. I really think this album is pretty good, um, and it's not on the level of something like Knocked Loose, but it's pretty darn close in my opinion. So yeah, definitely go check this out. This is definitely a great album, definitely one of the best of the year. I highly recommend this album. And yeah, check everything else out in this video. Tell me what you think about everything that I talked about in this 16-minute video in the comment section down below, of course. And this is Scamp the Wolf signing out. Take care.